Hello, welcome back to another episode of Modded Kerbal Space Program, where I'm launching a ship, Bobby is launching a ship, and who knows how it's going. How's it going with you?
It's going all right. I'm trying to speed up my vertical speed here because I've passed my apoapsis.
That's good. Well, it's not good that you passed your apoapsis, but it's good that mostly it's going well. I've realized a flaw in my trajectory here. My inclination with my target is off.
I probably should have sped up a long time ago. I just didn't realize I was at like full throttle like that.
All right, let's hold the maneuver node if we can manage to turn the ship there. Okay, so like roughly here we'll be fine. We don't really actually need to keep the maneuver. Let's just get rid of it, and we're going to burn in this direction. That should bring our intersect closer a little bit. Okay, we're going to stop there. It's basically an orbit, or not quite in an orbit, but I'm afraid if I burn any more, it's going to adjust our separation from the target too much. So we're going to switch to target mode. And then, actually, we're going to hold stabilize. There's only 22 meters a second delta V left in this stage. So we're going to ditch it. We're going to fire up that. And we can go ahead and decouple the nose cone. And then we're going to hold retrograde to target. All right, now comes the fun part. And by fun part, I mean tedious part. The joyous adventure that is Rendezvous. Okay, we're like
extending panels.
Actually getting further away. So let's just kill our relative velocity right now.
All right. So now our entire orbit is now above the station. So let's go. Let's bring up our rendezvous UI. We are here, and it is here. So let's see here. Target at point now. Let's just do some little time acceleration here. And then we'll bring this up and bring up our velocity relative to target.
Go. Switch back around to retrograde. Okay, current intersect is now 12.1. It's down from the like 20 we were at before.
I think we can
give a little fast forward.
I think we could speed up our time acceleration. Oh, one thing I wanted to do, now that I'm in orbit and looks like everything is cool, F5. There we go.
It's probably a good idea. I should probably get in the habit of quick saving, because we're going to have to do it a lot when we actually finally get to these far away missions.
Now, wait a minute. I thought I was behind it. But the station is getting further away from me.
Retrograde.
I am moving at 2250 meters a second, and because the other thing is at a lower orbit, unless I'm just kind of like at like Eve Deep Space Probe.
Where's the station?
Where's Narnia?
All right, retrograde has been killed. Now we need to burn towards the target yet again.
That is moving. I'm moving at a slower speed, so it should be catching up to me.
I thought you said you were behind it.
Yeah, I am behind it. Or it is
and
behind.
moving at a slower speed.
Yeah, moving at a slower speed.
And you're behind it. Or it's behind you.
It's behind me.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
you're also at a higher altitude, though, right?
Yes, because higher altitude is a slower speed.
Right. But, like, is your altitude increasing?
It goes up and down because...
Right, but are you currently going up or... Never mind. Ignore me.
Okay.
Anytime I try to figure things out for you, it messes you up more. Okay, point...
Okay,
no,
now it's going
not.
down again, so... All right.
Point, what is our... Oh, 1.1. Okay.
I do have
we need retrograde again.
I do have a shitty elliptical orbit here, so that's...
Yeah, I mean, it's bound to happen.
Wait a minute, who's... Oh, I think that yellow line is you doing something.
Probably. This will be attaching these to our ship when we get there will be interesting. Well, the thing is, these only have one docking port on them, the launching stages, and the landers only have one docking port on them. So we'll have to get them in close and EVA Kerbals to go pick up the landers.
I gotcha.
But in theory, the amount of Delta V I'm sending, these should all have extra fuel in them. So in reality, they can be used to, like, give us fuel when we get there.
Alright, so...
Alright, we are at 1.9 kilometers. It's going to be passing on our left. And 3, 2, let's just start killing that relative velocity right now before it passes us. And killed. Alright.
Alright, so we've got... Slowly hacking it away here.
All right, let's probably do almost all the rest of this with RCS at this point. Shouldn't be a big deal. Our current intersect is 0.1 kilometers. All right, we have our proper orientation.
All right, 400 kilometers in closing. Ooh, intersect 2 will put me at half the distance. So now we kind of got to actually pay attention here because we don't want to pass it. Passing it would be bad. So we're at 258 kilometers. 223. I really wish the camera around Kerbin would stop moving because it's very difficult to hover over these things. 5 minutes.
I gotta figure out these hydrazine thrusters at some point. They have twice the amount of thrust that the stock ones do.
Okay, that's going to put us within 31 kilometers. And then the next intercept point will put us over. So we want to slow down here now because we're going at intersect 1 right here. That will be our closest approach. So what we want to do is we want to slow down our relative velocity to 0 here, and we'll actually, here's what we'll do. We'll put a maneuver node like right here, and then just warp to that. No, I just want to warp to that maneuver node. There we go.
200 meters and closing roughly. Soon should be close enough to set the docking port as a target, hopefully. These launch stages are a little bit unruly.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, they're just big things filled with fuel.
Yeah. All right. So we are pointing retrograde to our target. Fire up the engines. Burn that down to 0. Bring our relative velocity down to 0 here.
And of course the docking port is on the complete opposite side of the ship from where I'm at.
Yep. Of course it is.
So let's move our trajectory. So we're going to pass the ship.
All right, so I believe because our craft is pointing the other direction, we passed, or the station. No, the station is still behind me. So I still need to kill some relative velocity here. It sped up a little bit because we got close to 0. It's 43 kilometers away.
Okay. We are just slowly drifting past. Ever so slowly. And we should be able to... Let's see here. We're going to want to kill our relative velocity now.
Nice.
And then we need to move ourselves over this way.
Again, getting further away. Because that's the velocity it's moving at. And I'm moving at a slower velocity. It should be getting closer.
Okay. Let's see here. We need to move down some. back this way a little bit.
Yes,
All right. This is just going to be a little bit of a slow process. I'm still kind of learning how to read these docking port, the docking port alignment window.
Mm-hmm. All right, now we're getting closer to it. So now we're getting further away again. So let's fire up some engine speed here. $43 kilometers.
Okay. Closing the gap here a little bit. Honestly, once I get in close, it shouldn't be a big deal. The magnetism should take hold. It's mostly at this point about just making sure we're not coming in too fast and we don't completely miss. Approaching at 0.5 meters a second. Slow it down just a little bit.
All right, let's get our relative velocity kind of. Oh, actually, I got the newer intersect nodes back up here. So that's going to get me within like 38 kilometers. Still.
And we got it. Excellent. How much delta V do we have? Total, well, the staging's probably all wrong. I'm not really sure. It says the total is 4,400, but it's probably not 4,400. It's probably incredibly confused by this whole thing. What if we disabled cross feed? Doing that changed some things around here. That's stage 0. Let's see here. Let's do this. Oh, I see why this is confused. There we go. That's more reasonable. Where is stage 2? Oh, I see. Okay. This needs to be here. There we go. So we've got like 4,000 delta V left in this thing, plus whatever's in the lander. I think we only need like 2,000 to get to Duna. So this is perfect. Let's go ahead and rename this to the Duna Lander 2. And then let's deploy the solar panels. Make sure that this thing keeps powered while it's up here in orbit for probably like another year, roughly, give or take. And then we're going to go back to the Space Center and do it all over again. How's your rendezvous coming?
Well, I'm still trying to get in close enough here. I am 36,000 meters in closing.
It's not terrible. You're actually in the future for me, kind of surprising a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and switch up to the habitation space station thing again.
Oh, we're going to get... I can't tell. It's flip-flopping between... I think if we do another orbit, because it's doing one of those things where it's flip-flopping. I'm either going to be 37 kilometers away or 6 kilometers away. I can't... It can't make up its mind.
So go ahead and undock the other lander. And then we will use our RCS to pull away from that just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, but just enough.
So, if my estimation is right here, we're actually closing in on it pretty fast here, as you can tell by the paths of our orbits here. We're going to probably get within 7 kilometers of it. So when I'm 7.5 kilometers away, I'm going to burn target retrograde and hopefully smooth out my orbit here to it so I can approach it a little bit faster. And actually, we're getting to the point where I'm going to need to do that like now.
So, I don't know if I told you, but I did figure out some of the problems with the calculation of delta V that this ship has. Oh, excuse me. And the main problem...
Actually did that pretty damn good. Okay, go ahead.
The main problem is that those outer tanks we attached, they don't actually automatically feed into those central tanks.
Okay.
So you have to feed them like manually. So their fuel doesn't actually calculate into the delta V for some reason.
All right.
It's kind of weird.
All right. I am, again, going to hit like a point where I'm going to... This is going to be the closest I'm going to get to the ship. And I'm going to fire up my engines a little bit more here. Because now my distance is going up. So I want to kill my target relative to the ship. Now it's going down again. And I've actually got maneuver nodes confirming that. 4.6 kilometers away.
All right, well, my game crashed again.
Okay.
Thanks, Space Station. I really appreciate you crashing my game. Anyways, we're at the end of this episode. If you liked the video, click like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for some more Kerbal Space Program. Thanks for watching. Bye.